We've all had the experience of being in a class or teaching a class or being with a group of people that's learning something, and people get things quickly and others fail. And you have the whole spectrum in between. So everybody got the same information, went through the same course. Why such a difference? Well, the difference has to do with what the individual brought to the table. And that has to do with what's programmed into the mind. My name is Phil Laerdal. My background is in hypnosis and in the mind and how the brain works and brain waves, and being able to work with these different brain wave states. And what we're really going to be focusing on during this little conversation is during the theta and the delta brainwave states. Theta is where your brain is programmable. That's where you're calm and you're relaxed. This is where the operating system of the brain exists, and it's open and accessible. This is where you spend your time from birth till about 8 years old. You're in theta brainwave state. That's where the basic foundation of how you think and function is laid down in your brain. Beyond that, you move into your alpha and your beta state. And that's where you can reason things out and think things and learn things, but it doesn't get down to the operating system of the brain. In order for things to take root and function, they need to be delivered to the brain in that theta brainwave state. And there's a lot of ways to get there throughout history. People have done all kinds of meditations, chanting, prayer, hypnosis. There's many. But we use a process called brainwave entrainment. And this is something that was developed back in the 70s in the Monroe Institute. And there's all kinds of research you can look up on it. But it's a process of using light and sound. You've probably heard of binaural beats and isochronic tones. Well, that's the audio side of brainwave entrainment. But you have 30 times the nerve endings from the eyes to the brain than you do from the ear to the brain. So the more impactful neural input into the brain is through the eyes, through light. Our brain is designed to go into that theta brainwave state under the right light stimulation. For example, if you've ever been out camping and you're by a campfire at nighttime, and maybe you're roasting a marshmallow or a hot dog or something, and you're there with a group of people, family, friends, and you're watching those flames flicker, and the whole world gets kind of really quiet and calm, and everything is just kind of different. That's theta. That's the state you go into just before you fall asleep. You're passing through the theta state down into the delta state where you sleep. That theta is the programmable state of the mind. And being able to get there is key for being able to learn and reprogram the brain with new thoughts, habits, attitudes. It has to do with being in that brainwave state so that the things that you're learning become part of your operating system. And the way we achieve that is we use this $3 trillion mind control device that everybody carries around in their pocket. And we take that and we put that into a VR headset. And the VR headset simply holds that screen. And the way we do it is it starts out with a countdown timer. And from that countdown timer, we take you flying through a canyon, and it gives you a different perspective. And it starts to change and alter how your brain works. The whole brainwave pattern changes. And you fly through a meadow, take you through a forest. This is just one of the opening scenes that we have for going into this brainwave state. And what happens, the lights start to flicker, and you close your eyes, and when you do that, each eye is isolated. And the way the lights flicker, one to the other, put you into that theta brainwave state. It's just like when you're looking at a light and you close your eyes and you wave your hand in front of your eyes. You can see the shadow of your hand through the eyelids. It's the same process. It's very gentle, very mild. And the way these lights flash and flicker from eye to eye with the right frequency drop you into that theta brainwave state. It's incredibly relaxing. And once you're there, your brain is open to being receiving information. And so we come in and we overlay an audio right on top of that to speak to you and walk you through a process of learning or changing. And there's a lot of systems out there that people use for brainwave entrainment over the years, and they typically charge a fortune for it. What we have done is we have broken it down into something that it can be done with one of these headsets. You can get these on Amazon. I have an Amazon store. It costs $30. And you've got all the technology you need right in your cell phone. We have a library on YouTube that's free, so you can experience this process without any expense. So you can get your feet wet and see what it's like to be going into that theta brainwave state and getting involved in that process. We have a more advanced library that's a paid subscription where we go over things like time management, stress relief, money, business, whatever you want we can put together and include in that library. It's kind of our catch-all, our general library. Now, imagine the things that you teach, that you share with clients. If we take that information and we put that into a brain align session for your clients, so that what you're teaching and what you're counseling people with and what you're providing gets put into their brain, into their operating system, whether you're a financial coach or a personal trainer. I have a guy that teaches real estate. I have another guy that has a men's clinic, and we work with his clients. But getting the brain into that state is invaluable to them because they can integrate the things that they're learning and the things they want in their mind as they're moving forward. Let's say somebody wants to customize, wants to have their life vision put into a brain aligned session. That's one of the things we do. We can take a person's vision, their goals, their dreams, and put that into a brain aligned session. It's like light years ahead of a vision board. Instead of just having a picture of somebody running the marathon and crossing the finish line, well, what we can do is we can get into that theta brainwave state and walk through that process of being there, because it's not about finishing the race. It's about getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's pouring rain and going running anyway, and being able to reach forward and grab a hold of that end state that you want and bring that all back right to the moment of going through the process of getting there. This is one of the things we do at the Brain Align sessions. So whether it's business, family, whatever, we can do that. So we can customize groups. And if you want to go the full length, we can teach you how to customize things for yourself. I customize what goes on in my mind every day. And at nighttime, when I go to sleep, I use my delta wave sleep pattern. I place into there the things that I want my brain working on while I sleep. It's kind of like when you watch a movie before you go to bed and you're having dreams, and often those scenes pop up in your dreams. Well, it's kind of the same thing. If you learn to put your brain to sleep correctly and put the right things in there while you sleep, how much better does your day unfold, because the night your brain has brought everything together. So I wake up in the morning, I've had my brain working on what I wanted to have working on, and I get up and I go and I walk down to the water. I'm still in that theta state coming out of sleep, and I take a nice swim, and all these thoughts and ideas and understandings start coming to the surface from everything that I've processed during the night. That way, when I start working on things throughout the day, I'm prepared. And what it does is it puts me in control, not the world coming in on top of me. I'm in control of what's going on. And so we have everything from free library on YouTube all the way up through customization and everything in between. We have the subscription-based library. We can do brainwave entrainment for groups, working with trainers, coaches, their clients. Once again, all the way up to how to customize. So it's all available. And if this is something that interests you, let me know. You can DM me. And it's not like thunder and lightning. It's very subtle. It's like this gal I know. She said to me, Phil, I just drink Diet Coke all the time. It's always one in my hand, and I'm always drinking it, and I hate it. I feel like crap. And I just really don't want to do it. But that's what I do. And so I put together a brain alignment session, and I went over water, and I just said, you drink water. You love water. The cells of your body love being refreshed with fresh, clean water. And I saw her a couple of weeks later, and she says, Phil, all I do is drink water. It's not like I sit there and look at diet soda and say, oh, I can't have that. She says, I don't even see it. This is the way that change can be. It doesn't have to be a big Herculean effort. So my business is Brain Aligned. You can DM me if you want to get in touch, or you can email me. So contact me. I can go over things with you. We can see what we can do working together, and let's see what we can do. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your business and how things are going. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this.